Happy Friday, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Hey, can you believe it? It's the 1st of July, 2022. That's crazy how time passes so fast. That's why time is very valuable and you ain't getting it back. So whatever you do it with, you, your spirit, your soul, yourself, be you. Everything that you do is just you guys. Be you, man. But okay, hey, today, hey, right here in the Push Power to Power show. I know we're not live, but we're gonna talk about something like, hey, Jesus, you're crazy. Why? Why am I crazy? Why is that title says don't start a podcast? Don't start a podcast. Why? Because it's not for everybody. I'm saying this, don't start a podcast, but in my heart, in my spirit, I want everybody to actually have their own podcast. Even if you don't have a producer like myself, I'm producing podcasts for other entrepreneurs, for business owners. You don't need to start there. Everybody is like, I want to have a podcast. I don't know my title. I don't know the title, what I'm going to talk about, or what's going to be the name of it. It's okay. I was there. I was there when I started my own podcast. This was not the name of it. The Push Power to Power Show was the second name. The first name was the Jesus Ortiz Diary Show, Teaching for Success. And I ran with that. I really liked it. Into later on in the years, I saw a 1 minute and 50, almost 2 minute video of Grant Cardone talking about pushing power. And it just hit me, and I said, I'm changing my name to the Push Power to Power Show. And it's been there since, and I'm not changing it. That's how you find me in all audio, Apple, Spotify, Alexa, you name it. But let's get back to that when I said don't start a podcast. And I mean that because it's not for everybody. Like, even though I said I want everybody to have their own podcast, because you don't need all this fancy equipment. I got all these cameras looking at me, but I don't have nobody behind it producing it. I am on the time right now that I'm gonna go out there and find somebody to train them. So when I do my videos, my content, because I'm my own content, I'll have my own producer. Not only that, that producer can be the producer for my other clients. But you have to start somewhere. Like, somebody right now could be, flipping cameras to that one or to that one. I have the lights here. I mean, the computer, all of the road broadcaster, the black magic, everything is connected right there. Y'all cannot see it, but everything is in there. So just start, even if it's with your phone. I mean, no, let me get that. This is the only thing you need, your phone, to start your podcast. Either you go full video, or either you just say, you know what, I don't want to start with video yet. I just want to start with audio. That's perfectly fine. But in my opinion, I want you to start both, and just step at a time, step at a time. You're not going to be good at it at all at the beginning from both video and audio. No, you're going to get it through the time. I wasn't good at, even right now, I'm still saying I'm not good at, even though I have all those years of experience and failures and all of that. And I'm not afraid of being in here in camera and talking about this. Don't start your own podcast. You're crazy. Why? Why are you telling this? You are a podcast producer. No, I'm saying this because even though I know one is for everybody, it's not for everybody, because some people don't have it in them to have a podcast. What you mean, Jesus? They don't have it. You think you're telling me that I don't have it? No, it's not that. It's that maybe you want to run to have a podcast because you see me, you see all of these other people having the podcast, having 100 episodes, more than that, 10 episodes, and you're like, I need to start. And I do. I want you to start it. But sometimes maybe it's just because you're looking at somebody because they have it and you want to have it. And then truthfully, it's not for you. You're not ready to have it maybe at that time. Maybe you're like, just because you're following them, you want to have it. And again, I want you to have a podcast, and sooner or later, you will have one. But at the beginning, it's not that you don't have a voice or it's not your voice. You have to have somewhere in you that is going to be like, I know what I'm going to talk about. Either you have a business or you don't. This is the niche, or this is This is what I want to give value to the audience or to the audience that I'm about to build. It's a lot of things that you get into it. That's why it's so amazing to have a podcast because, like I said, look, I'm a producer. I don't have a producer. I love it. Connecting with other people. That's what it is. You connect, you build relationships, you build networks. You can do so many things within the podcast community. With other podcast community, you can build your own podcast community, your own mastermind community. That's what something I'm gonna work on, creating my own podcast mastermind community and about live streaming and stuff. Bring other podcasts, bring other people that want to learn about podcasts, bring it and teach and educate them that they can have it, they can start now. They don't need all of this, they don't need a producer. They can start like I did back in 2015. At the end of 2015, I think it's November, December, when I started, and I was afraid, I was shy, I didn't want to be in camera, but my spirit was telling me that I needed to have a show, that I needed to have something out there to interview people, to learn, to know about them. And I didn't know what route or where I was going through. I just started and went. And like I said, I had an Android at that time, an S6, I think it was. Yeah, an S6 Android. And I mean, I still had a full-time job. So I was like, what do I need? So I just went and buy a little tripod and got a little mic. So the little mic, and I still have it. That's the one that started it all. What, $7, $8 mic, and then the tripod was a little tiny 13. I think I had to buy like three or four through the time because they were 12, 13. So I guess they weren't either I didn't took care of them or they just broke because they were not good. It's fine. And he still was like, damn, I need to spend another 12 on another one. It was like, I don't want to, but I did. And I did. And I was doing it at home. I was doing it I was in my me and my brother were in the same room. So I had to, the times and ask him, hey, dude, about to do an hour show and this and that. And he was like, no, but I want to watch TV. So it was hard at the beginning. Even for me, it was hard to actually be I didn't have no lights. Like I said, it was just the room light and the tripod in the front. And I have like a little, it wasn't a desk, but a little where you put your socks, a little wardrobe, and I put the wardrobe at the front, the phone with the tripod, and I was either the mic was in the front or I had the mic with me, like grabbing it by the hand, and then just go out there and started doing it live. I wasn't pre-recording, I was doing it live. That's when live started coming on in Facebook. I started going live and I started learning about other entrepreneurs, learning about other business owners, and I wanted to know what they did and stuff. I sucked at the beginning. Like I said, I was telling my one of my clients, his wife was doing some videos before me. I was doing her videos for her, and I was telling her, man, when I started, I said people the audience that I started building, and they didn't like how it started. They say it sucked. We really want to know about the person you're talking about. We want to know. And I didn't know. I mean, it felt kind of like, damn, I don't want to do this anymore. Like everything else, you're like, it hurt. You're like, this haters, you're going to have haters every time. And I stick to it. I stick to it. I stick to having the podcast. I actually, from those people that said that, even them and other ones, they started, you know, finding that solution for me because I was gonna find the solution no matter what. So they said it, you need to have a storytelling podcast. We want to know more about them. What did they fail? How many times they fail? The journey behind it, all of that. Not only questions, because I was only asking 3 questions, and the whole damn hour was about those questions, and that was it. And I was like, I didn't know about it. I thought it was cool and good, And some of the questions I made, some of the questions they made because I told them, hey, do you want to create your own questions? Just send them to me. So it was back and forth like that. But when that tweak changed, it made a difference. When that little pivot and I actually listened to the audience, that's something that us as podcasters, we go through all these audiences. It is good to go back and listen and see what they wrote in the comments and go back and type. And you go back and type it and just thank you or what do you think that I can make it better? Ask them questions. It's your audience, and as much as you do, you'll find the solutions there. Okay. Oh, man, I gotta change. Oh man, she said that. He said that. Okay, I'm gonna make an improvement there. I'm gonna make an improvement there, and then you see it through the other podcasts that you do, other shows that you start seeing it, and and it feels good and it feels great. And I love it. Like I said, you build so many things to doing a podcast. And again, we're going back to saying, don't have a podcast, don't start a podcast, because you have to actually reach, like I said, reach into you and truly understand and find out why you getting into this. Because I'm doing this full time. There's people that I know that that's not what they do. They have their own podcast, they build it around their business, and it works for them. They bring guests around their business, around their niche, what they do, and they bring, like I said, they get into a pretty badass, left and right, and they talk about a lot of things, and they like that. And I know that that's what I want for every business, every niche, everybody. The guy that makes pan, that sells pizza, that sells tamales. If you build something around that, and show your service or product, it's really gonna help you build more of you, and build more of not you being afraid of being in camera, and being more, have that energetic, and you can build a lot of stuff. Like I said, your own network. You can create events and mastermind events about tamales. Hey, I'm just giving you examples right now. But on and on. That's why you have to sit down and really say, all right, if I'm gonna start this, if you're gonna start this, don't start and say I'm gonna do it just for 2 3 months. This game of podcasting, having your own show, it's for a long term. I'm telling you, because I only have 43 episodes out there, 44 episodes. And I have so many old episodes that when I started, but I never uploaded those. I don't even know if they're still there. I found a couple of them, but that's fine. And I'm actually gonna get back to doing the show again. My show. I'm not leaving it. I love doing my own show. I just giving you right now a little short form of my show, pre-recorded, not going live, and just giving you the value of not starting your podcast, because while you start your podcast, you gotta think of long term and build it within your niche or whatever the business is, so you can run that. You can run that for years. For years, you never know when somebody can reach out to you and be like, "Hey, man, you're growing. We want to sponsor you," or hey, how can we, I have this service or product, I sell this, can I created a link, I created a page, can we run it through your podcast? We'll pay you a monthly thing, or we'll pay you a weekly or a day. And on, I can go on, and all of the things like affiliate marketing, a lot of things that you can do, build it around the podcast. I myself didn't know, and I don't even do a lot of this stuff, what I'm telling you, because I didn't know what I want, but I didn't know what I was gonna do through my podcast, what I was learning and investing on it. But when I figured it out and I said, hey, I want to be a live streaming show producer, I want to produce for other people. Live streaming. I know that a couple of my clients right now, we're not doing live, but I'm still using everything that I have, the StreamYard, the software that I have for Reels and TikTok, everything. Even though we are doing it pre-recorded and shorter form, it's still good. I still can do it because I have the software right there. But I really want to push out more of that live streaming. Hey, let's go live streaming, because this is the benefits of it. I know there's the pros and cons of it. We can get this in another video. I think I did one video, but we'll do, excuse me, another one about it, because this is not about that. But I know people that do pre-recorded. I know people that do live. But when I saw that, I took that and I said, hey, I want to get this niche, the live streaming. How can I get value on that? How can I teach, create a mastermind, master classes that I can teach and let people know what is the benefits, what it can help them to have a live streaming, and just add some pre-recorded, but boom, go more of this route of live streaming. But if you're not, you can still go to the pre-recorded. But I mean, you got to do a lot more edit. You got to do a lot more stuff, and either you do it yourself or you hire somebody to do it. Over here in the live streaming, it's a little bit less than that, because you can go behind that, behind the computer and every there, and you have that software. And if you prepare, you're like, okay, I'm putting this while you're going live. I'm putting this the beginning intro. Is there a picture, a video? Then you can put their name of it, what is it, the overlays, boom, get it off and change the cameras if you have the whole production, everything there. So when you do the editing on the live, it's minimum, to the short term, to the short form videos. That's where you do the reels and the TikToks. Because when you're going live, if you really want to do, edit for a client, if it tells you, you might charge a little bit extra because you're going live. When you're live, like I said, you gotta be a little bit prepared of what They want what they told you what to do. Hey, I don't really want this picture. I want this. I just want the pure video, the value, whatever it is that your client wants. You talk to them, you set it up. You're like, this is what I'm doing. This is what I can do. I can do that for you. It's set up already in the computer. So when we go live, I just got to press the buttons and let's go. Because when we're done doing the live, that video is already there. Either is you're doing it on your YouTube or wherever, YouTube, Facebook, and groups, it's there. It's already there. It's done. I don't have to go back and edit it. But like I said, it might be like they look at it and be like, hey, you know what? Can you edit this and that? Then you can. But but that's when, see, this is what I'm talking about, masterminds. I don't want to get into a lot of this, right now. That's when you tell them at the beginning, hey, I can do this right now, so I don't have to edit it. So because it's live and it's live, it's already gonna be there. So this is what you want on this video. This is what I have to have in there. So when we go, I can put it in there and start pressing the buttons and let's go. But when it's pre-recorded, like these short form videos that I'm doing, like 5, 6 minutes, it's pre-recorded. I can still add and stuff like that. But on these ones, since they're not too long, that's fine. I still edit it. It's simple edit it because I just go to I don't even have an edited software. I just use iMovie because I already know I just got to add here, add there, maybe cut a little bit here. Simple stuff that I in and out, the audio, and let's go. That's it. I'm not doing that route of the pre-recording, but I'm not going to go there because then I'm going to be ranting left and right. But once again, guys, I want every single one of you to have your own podcast, but truly, really understand that when I say it, I don't want you to have your podcast is because you got to get into that believing in you that you're going to do this for a long term, years, because this is just the beginning. There's a lot of stuff coming out in the podcast world that is moving and changing and pivoting, and we're seeing a lot of things, and it's still gonna be explode to so many things through the years coming because of the metaverse and all of these things, NFTs, crypto. There's so many things that this is gonna turn around to a pivot. And this is good because I see things that I'm like, hey, I'm not seeing how come I cannot pivot and make something out of it. And then I can create something. And then, like I said, there's gonna be creations of everywhere from different podcasters out there. Just giving you an example, Joe Rogan, it took him 11, 12 years through his podcast to Spotify reached out to him and the contract for $100 million. So don't give up on you. Don't give up on your content. Find that niche. If you see that it's not working, find a way. Why is it not working? Write stuff down. You figure it out yourself. Ask questions. Get into, like I said, masterminds. Go to events. Either way, podcast events or non-podcast events. All of these things is gonna help you grow and scale and figure it out. Where where am I going? Left or like me? Where am I going? Am I gonna be just a on podcast show because I didn't have a business around it? It was like it was just doing the podcast. I had a podcast show, treating it as a radio and bringing in people, and then we're paying me and give them a little production and out to go. And it's like that's not me. So like later on, said I'm gonna be a producer. I'm gonna be a live streaming show producing, podcast producer. When if it's short form content, producing that I don't have to do a lot of edit. That's good because I'm not that person that edits or knows how to edit. You have to delegate that. That's why I picked that niche. Because if I went this niche and said I'm a pre-record and all of that, like everybody else that is doing that as a podcast, then I have to charge even more because I know I'm gonna have to send all this and delegate everything to somebody that is experienced, experienced and expert on doing all the editing and putting this and that. So then I had to pay him and then so it's a lot. So either route you go is still fine, but you gotta know your prices and that ocean where you're fishing, because that's where you gotta find your clients where you say, hey, I'm charging this because I'm going in and this and that, but I'm sending everything because I don't know how to do all this shit. I'm good at what I do. So everybody is good at what they do. So you go with that and perfect it. I don't want no one's perfect, but make your craft better because that's where you delegate left and right things that you're not good at, but what you're good at, boom, kill it. Like I'm good at this podcast and this, I'm still getting better. So I'm everything else that I'm not good. I have to delegate. I have to delegate. Whew. Thank you once again, guys. And again, long term game for podcast, start. If you have that mindset. But if you have that mindset or you want to start a podcast for 2, 3 months, then just my opinion, don't start. I don't want you to waste your time. and then seeing things that even you start buying things that you do have a little bit of a budget, and then you're leaving it around, and you're like, nothing happened. I don't want that for you to happen. So make sure that you do think about it hard, that you're going to start this podcast around your business, around your niche, or maybe you don't have a business or anything, you work for somebody, and but you have that passion, then start, just go. Like I said, you don't need none of this shit. You can just start with your phone, small tripod, this, the least of it, you have your phone. After a while, like I said, step at a time, then you can scale. Oh, wow, let me buy this bigger tripod. Let me buy this camera, maybe not a DSL, this DSL camera, but other cameras for the computer, like a C920 and stuff. And you start growing and growing and growing. Like I said, I can go on and on and on, guys. But hey, thank you very much and happy Friday. Happy 1st of July. Don't quit. Go get it. It's yours, man. No matter how the world is upside down. And they said today's the first day of recession. Don't get into that fear mentality, scarcity mentality. You find your ways, pivot, surround with people that can help you lift you up, and you'll be able to make it. Trust me. Even if you're just barely starting or you're just getting like me the next step ahead, then go ahead. Go ahead and don't get that fear. Faith over fear always. And whatever you feel in your heart, spirit, and soul, do it. Step on it. Take that risk because that's God calling you. Thank you, guys. Your boy, the real Jesus Ortiz, or you, Jesus Ortiz, my real name. It's not my real name. My real name Jesus Ortiz, but I like calling myself the real Jesus Ortiz. That's cool. That's what my hat says. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the weekend. Happy 4th of July. I might do a video Sunday, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. That's what I said. Maybe. Enjoy your weekend. Peace out.